Today I'm showing you how to build forms and surveys for free inside of Mistral. So for this you'll be needing a connector which is completely for free and which will enhance Mistral with basically form and survey building capabilities, and the tool is coming from Weavely AI, which is a free form building tool that we're building out. So anything that you need to do is to provide a server URL, which I'll link to the bottom of this video as well, and then all the rest goes automatically, so no authentication methods and description is optional. So you can go ahead and connect this, and then automatically you will see Weavely being connected in your connectors. Now the way that this works is if you start a new chat, you can select the Weavely connector inside of your chat, and then you can basically ask it anything you want from a form and survey perspective. So let's say I need a simple lead generation form for my B2B marketing agency, right? So it's going to leverage the intelligence of Mistral, but the form building capabilities of Weavely, combine those into something which is completely functional. So now Mistral is figuring out like, how does this tool work? Which tools do I need to use? And then it's going to tell us, okay, it's going to ask for permission, right? Because it's going to create stuff outside of Mistral. And then it's going to give us a preview link that we can use to figure out how it works. So the form is created, but it's still empty. So we'll have a look at it in a second, but it's essentially telling us or asking us what we need to add to the form. So company name, contact person, the industry. So these are pretty generic, but then again, my prompt was pretty generic. So we can just say, yes, fine, go ahead, add those to the form. And then it's going to update our form with all of those form elements that it just told us about. So there we go, it added everything to the form and it gives us a preview link that we can use to check this out. So this is a link of what the form will look like once we actually publish it. So we have company name, the contact person, email, phone number. So essentially it just added everything that it said it was going to add, and now we have something which we can already click through so that we can check how things work and whether we want to change anything. So we could dive back into Mistral and ask it to add additional questions or make the drop down into a radio button, for example, or we could ask it to add more advanced stuff, such as conditional logic, or change the design. So design is a bit bland. Can you come up with a nicer color scheme? So I don't know what Mistral's definition of nicer is. Typically with AI, it's not going to look great. Let's see what it comes up with, but you get the gist, right? So you can completely tweak and tailor your form before you actually go ahead and publish it, which I'll show you in a second. So the preview link that we used before is still the same one. So we can just go ahead and refresh this. And as you can see, it came up with a different color scheme. Although to be honest, this isn't sort of that much difference, but it kind of looks a bit better already. So that's something, right? So you can also further tweak this later down the road. So for the moment, we'll leave it at this. Now, this is a preview, so we can submit this, but we can't actually share this with anybody because, well, we won't be able to get the responses, right? So as you can see, some of these fields are required, so we need to fill those in. So we have built-in validation as well. And now I can press submit. So we get, thank you for your submission, but no way of finding out where the submissions go, right? So to do this, to be able to share your form and gather those responses, you need to create an account in Weavely and then just transfer this form. And all you need to do is essentially just either click this button right here or ask Mistral to publish it, and then it will do it for you. So obviously you already have an account. If you don't have an account, you'll be prompted to create one, which is completely for free. And then afterwards, you're inside of the Weavely platform where you can further tweak this either with AI or just manually if you want to. So the visual is kind of bland right here. So let's go for something a bit cooler like this. And then we can sort of tweak our form. We can set up integrations. So if we want our data to be inside of Google Sheets, that sort of stuff, we can all do that inside of Weavely for free. And then of course, most important part is that we have a URL here that we can just share. So if I go ahead again and I fill in this form, you'll see that the data comes in just as we would expect. We can leave all of this open. This is required and this doesn't matter. I press submit, and then if I go back and check out my results, I can see the result that just came in right here. Of course, no integration, so I could sort of automate this even further, but that's the essential steps. So you start by setting up the Weavely connector in Mistral, then you ask it to create a form, you tweak it inside of Mistral, and then you publish it either by asking Mistral just in the chat or by clicking the CDA on the preview link that you get of your Weavely form. It's easy as that. If you like these kind of tutorials, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.